recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit high maintenance. Everybody else basic. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice.
Bam! I made it back just in time. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing out there? This is Candy Loves to Talk TV, and I am here with my girls Aries and Monique 69 Ways Johnson, and I have a special guest, Mr. Taurean Rain Reloaded.
What's going on? What's going on?
Building guys.
Hey.
we finally doing this thing after like 10 years.
Not 10 years.
After listen, I forgot when me and Candy had the initial discussion and want to even talk about this movie. That's how long it's been.
It's been about 11 months ago. Golly.
You're a year.
Remember that because stuff was in Canva and it was like 11 months ago. I was like, oh. It's been a minute. Yes. How everybody doing? How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Doing good.
Yeah. So Serial Mom, 1994. Did y'all watch that then? Or did y'all watch it later? Or y'all was like me and watched it like about a year or two ago?
Watched it later. It was crazy is I stumbled across this movie probably when I was in high school. Like I was just like flipping through the channel trying to find something to watch. And I saw this movie came up on Serial Mom. I'm like, this might be interesting. Going into it, looking at the title, I'm thinking it's going to be like one of those suspense type movies. I wasn't prepared for what I was about to watch because I was literally laughing from beginning to end. Like this is one of those underrated comedies that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm a little bit biased because this movie actually takes place and was shot in Maryland. Where
Okay,
it
took place in Maryland, but I know it was shot there. Okay.
Yeah, it was shot there too. Like when I was looking at like some of the landscapes of it, I can point some of the things out in the movie where I know I'm familiar with some of those locations.
In the suburbs, right?
Yes, in the suburbs. Definitely in the suburbs.
Okay.
He said definitely.
It was definitely in the suburbs.
Right.
So this movie starts the Kathleen Turner, who plays Beverly Supton, Sam Waterston, Eugene, which is her husband Eugene, and he is from Law and Order. That's how I knew him. He's playing in a dark comedy. Okay, that was around the Law and Order beginning time frame for him. Ricky Lake. Did y'all used to watch Ricky Lake show?
Yep. Ricky. And I like her version of Hairspray. I don't like that remake they did. I like the original Hairspray.
Okay. Matthew Lillard played Chip. Y'all know Matthew?
Yeah.
Scream.
And Scooby-Doo. And Scooby-Doo.
And
Scooby-Doo. Yeah. And it's a lot of other people in here. That I don't. Suzanne Summers is in here. And she's gone to glory, right?
Yeah, she passed last year. I think passed last year. I think.
Alrighty, let's speak to the people in the chat. Thank you, Lemon Kush Pepper. Thank you for always being here. We appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. She's always late. Thank you. Hey, MsKira.
Everyone.
What's going on?
Hey.
Thank you. Gonna watch a little from the rafters. We appreciate you, darling. We surely do. Thank you. Okay, let's see. All right. Add to the stage, Serial Mom. Okay, producer. So Serial Mom is a 1994 American satirical black comedy crime film directed and written by John Waters. It was released in the United States in 1994. The plot is she appears to be an unassuming upper middle class housewife living with her dentist husband Eugene and their normal teenage children, Misty and Chip, in Townsend, Maryland. She's a serial unaliver.
Near Baltimore.
Unalives people over trivial slights or offenses, which means they ain't really do nothing to be unalive.
Also, I forgot the I don't know if y'all watched the Adventures of Superman and Lois back in the day, but the guy who played Jimmy is in this movie as well.
Okay.
You never watched that show, Candy? I'm surprised you did. It was a real popular show back in the 90s.
And it's a show about Superman and Lois Lane.
Yeah.
No, I did.
Okay.
Oh, she's not into this.
No, I'm not.
Superhero stuff. Okay.
I am. So I
was watching I Love Lucy and Beverly Hillbillies and Andy Griffith.
Oh my God! Not the.
No, Candy. I was watching I Love Lucy too. I know that was.
I was watching that too, but I was watching everything. I guess.
She said, "In Beverly Hillbillies and Andy Griffith."
Mm-hmm.
And Mr. Ed, everything on Nick at Night.
Three Stooges.
We didn't have cable. I lived in a deep country in South Carolina. We didn't have cable until, I told y'all that, about the reality shows. We didn't have it until like the early 2000s, 4 or 5-ish, whatever. Yeah, I had to go to my aunt's house to watch it. My parents, when they, child, please, they didn't care about that. So let's see. Go ahead, Mo. So this film is a true story, which is not. The screenplay is based on court testimony, sworn declarations, and hundreds of interviews conducted by filmmakers. Some of the innocent characters' names have been changed in the interest of a larger truth. But they say it's not based on a true story, though. So
it's not,
I think they just put that there.
It's not.
To make people think that it's
right. Be entertained.
It's entertained with dark humor.
So we have the beginning of the episode. You see their nice, lovely home. White House. They don't have no fence, but we're gonna say picket fence. Mom is cooking breakfast. Seemed like a normal family, right? They're eating breakfast, getting ready for school, getting ready for work. Mom is a stay-at-home mom. So they get a fly flying around in the kitchen, and Mom takes a fly swatter, and like it just caught her attention, and she just smacks it. And they just showed all the guts and.
They did.
That was a fake one.
They made sure to zoom all the way in, so you saw every bit of that splattered bug.
I was like, why? I guess they wanted to show us the depths of this, how deep this lady go.
That was a foreshadowing of what's to come, because it's like, okay, she's killing this fly, but it's like, people use a fly swatter all the time, but it's like setting us up to let us know what she about to do is deeper than killing a fly. Like she about to really go in.
Like that was
what time she be on. She was like following it, and she called it a gnat, but it was a fly though. I don't know.
Yeah, that was definitely a fly.
It was a fly.
So they get a knock at the door, and it's two detectives, Pike and Gracie. They question about a vulgar telephone harassment of their neighbor, Dottie Hinkle.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking about that call.
Perpetrator of being harassed Dottie after she took Beverly's parking space. So Beverly, talking to the teacher. Well, later on they talk about the teacher or whatever. So let's get to the part where the officer is there. So they're talking about this conversation, and she was like, I can't say that. I can't say those words. I don't say those words. I'm like, what kind of damn movie is this where they can't say the words that they were saying? Like, just vulgar words. And the lady was upset about the conversation. And I'm like, she said she had to get a phone number changed, and it was a lot going on with
twice. Had to get the phone number changed twice.
I'm laughing at the
she get the thing in the mail, and it said, I'll get you coochie face. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, everybody's taken aback. What are y'all thoughts on this conversation? How did y'all feel about something in this time not being so bad? I don't think it was that bad back then in real life.
No.
Listen, like I said, I think it's a good thing that I watched this movie later on when I was able to understand it. Because if I watched this when I was a kid, when this movie came out, I would not have understood an ounce of the stuff that was going on or said in this movie. So when I was old enough to understand it, everything that was happening was hilarious to me. Because it was like one of those things where it was over the top, but it was meant to be, it was supposed to be. And when I see something like that, I think it's funny because she did the throwback. I'm gonna cut out the letters out of the magazine and paste it and make this message. And I said that's one of the most old school thing you could do when you send someone a threatening letter. Nowadays, you can send someone a DM, a text, an email. Back then, you said back then you had to work to push your threats across.
You are right. You had to work. Yeah, you had to work to be
finding letters to cut out and everything.
Yeah, put up magazines and stuff. I'm like, okay. So one of the officers was chewing gum. I think she made him spit his gum out.
Yeah.
She said we don't chew gum in his house.
Gum in his house. Yep.
Child.
I said, okay, babe. All right, babe. You stretch me.
You're scaring me, Beverly.
She's a little hot.
She's very controlled.
She was, smooching up to the detective. And I'm like, look at her. Aren't you a child?
Yeah.
Man, she very hot.
She's in high school. She's hot, and she's in high school, and she had it's like the minute that she heard the cop's name, not even but when he came into the home, when she heard his name, let's just put it this way, she became like Niagara Falls.
Mm-hmm.
I put it like that. Yeah.
And then you got this boy Carl picking you up, and you look at
that ain't your boyfriend.
She definitely had an affinity for older men.
Mm-hmm.
In the show, she did.
Yes. All right, producer.
Moving on.
So we get to the part where she is calling what's her name? Dottie Hinkle. I have the transcript of the conversation.
Not the transcript.
Is this the cocksucker residence?
And that's how she said it too. That's the funniest part. That's how she said it.
She said, God damn, you stop calling here. Is this 4215 Wussy Way? She said, now let me check the zip code. No, it's 212 FU. And I said,
stop calling here.
About a freaking parking spot. Like
a parking spot. Mm-hmm.
We doing all this
at Joann's. That was down to Joann's Fabric where she swooped in. I noticed that this time when I was watching it. I was like, why was she trying so hard to get to Joann's? And then took Beverly's spot
and swooped in like.
And it's like ever since she did that with the parking spot, she's been stalking her ever since. Yes. And it just shows that any little thing will piss this woman off. And she's going to continue to go at the person until she wants to stop going at them.
Yes, she sets it off, okay? And then it's like she hangs up and then calls her back. And then Dottie said, didn't I just say F you? She said, I beg your pardon. The lady's like, who is this? She said, Miss Wilson from the telephone company. I understand that you're having problems with an obscene phone caller. She said, yes. She said, what does a sick individual say? I can't say those words out loud. I don't use foul language. I said, lady, did you just cuss this lady out like 10 seconds ago? So we just not cursing. Okay, Dottie. That was so crazy to me.
Because she thought it was somebody else, and then when she switched back to who it was, then that's when she said, "F you." She's like, "F you."
Mm-hmm.
She had her crashing out, and the thing is, she was so childish with it because that's such a childish thing to do, to call somebody and prank call them, and she was having fun with it. Like she was literally on the other end of the phone because back then you had to hold the phone like this so the person can't hear you breathing or talking or laughing. So she's laughing so hard, and you know what? I wonder how much of this was improv.
Yeah,
I wonder because some of it seemed like it was very off script. Like she just went, like she was going in.
I know one part that was improv in the movie. We'll get to it, but I know one part.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that was funny. Yeah, I mean that when she get her parking spot taken, it kind of remind me of Medea go to jail.
Yeah.
But Medea act right away. So this is like some passive aggressive psycho mess she's doing.
A nut in a hood. Okay. All right, we can move on.
All right.
Mm-hmm. So we get to the school and we have PTA night, and Beverly is going to meet the teacher. What is his name?
Mr. Stubbins.
Mr. Stubbins going to meet the teacher and to talk about what's going on with Chip at school. He says Chip is a very good student, but something must be going on in their life because he has been doing these gory things or whatever. And I forgot, she said something to him he said something that was kind of rude to her, which set her off. And
he was questioning her. He was questioning her and her husband's parenting. Yeah. Which you know what? That would piss any parent off.
Yeah, it would piss anybody off.
That would piss any parent off.
Yeah, because who the hell are you? Like,
it's the way he
really
said it though. It's the way he said it though.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what the.
And the way and the thing, I wish you had that screenshot when she was looking at him stand up. The look that she gave him as he stood up was the one. If she could cut she could like throw daggers with them eyes, because she had that. She looked like she was about to do something, and she did.
She evil. That lady was evil. She was evil. Mo, you want to talk about what happened with Mr. Stubbins, honey?
Child, he was going outside to take a smoke or whatever.
No, he was eating gum. Remember?
He was eating gum, not
gum.
a gum.
Yeah, the gum.
But the girl, the pothead was smoking. Sorry, the pothead was smoking. She was by the tree.
I'm gonna be right back, but go ahead.
Okay, so he came out up there smiling, eating gum, and she getting in her car, her blue. I forgot what kind of car it was. It was a Chevy
station wagon,
something. And she was thinking, she was pissed, she was still hot, mind you. She ran him over with her car. She moved forward and then reversed it. She was going back and forth,
and so she slammed on the gas. I mean, she did. I mean, she was kicking up dust, like she was kicking up smoke, like and you gotta think she was in a parking lot. It's not like she was in a wide open space. She was in a very small school parking lot when she did this.
Yeah, with other cars around too.
Ran that man over one time and then put that thing in reverse and ran over him again. She turned that man into a speed bump.
Roadkill. Turned into road unalive.
Yeah. And then after he was on the ground, that gum had fell right out of his mouth.
Yep, and we know she does not like what?
Not like gum chewing.
I think that's probably what was behind the trees, huh?
That's probably what set her off even more, was her seeing him put that gum in his mouth.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I said the same thing. They probably tipped her really over the edge. She was already pissed about you questioning her parenting and stuff, her son. And then she see you put a stick gun. She's like, I got something for you. Full speed ahead. Hit the reverse. Yeah. I was like, yo, this lady is nuts. But little did she know there was a witness that was hiding behind the tree, which is a pothead stoner. I forgot her name. Yeah, so every time she goes something, man, there's always a witness somewhere lurking.
You can go to the next scene when y'all finish.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Anybody else got anything to say about
R.I.P. Mr. Stubbins?
Right.
Yes. That's all you gotta say. That's the first person. That's the first person we see her take out in this whole movie. But there's more.
All I gotta say is, I used to think, well, when I saw this movie, sorry y'all, I'm in the garage and it's like going down on the outside. So sorry about the dogs walking. But when I saw this movie initially, I was in elementary school for sure. Like Taurean said, didn't get none of the jokes, but I did think stuff like this was funny when Mr. Stubbins got ran over, because I'm thinking, like, if my mama ain't going hard like this for me, I don't want her. I don't want her.
Right. Exactly. But as adults, you be like, oh snap.
Like, you're crazy, lady.
She is crazy.
That's not the way, honey.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. So we're gonna move on to the next thing. Child, boy.
Oh, this part was so fun.
Bed rock and roll up in his bed.
I mean, what?
He read and she saying her prayers, and then they getting frisky and stuff like that.
This has got to be one of the most over-the-top sex scenes I have ever seen in my life. I mean, she had that man hopping up and down. I thought he was going to fly through the ceiling for a minute. I mean, the way that they was going at it.
Mm-hmm. It was so confusing to just even watch moments ago. I'm like, what is happening?
She was on top.
When he was on top, and
then he was on top. He keep telling her to be quiet. And the kids were here. He keep telling them to hush her.
They couldn't be quiet to save their lives. They probably woke the neighbors. I mean, they probably woke up everybody with how loud they were.
They humping. Even the kids look disgusted. Like,
right. What in the world?
It's almost like, was this an arousal for her after what she just did to the teacher? Like, did she get it? Like, was that pleasure
She was
for
definitely
her?
turned on.
Yeah,
Right.
that's probably what it was. And her libido was through the roof, and he was almost through the roof along with it.
Mm-hmm. In her nightgown. I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
goodness. I guess. Yeah, but you know, they was going. Good for them. Feel bad for the kids. That's all I can say.
I think she was probably the only one that got pleasure from that because he looked so uncomfortable. Like he looked like he was probably
Especially when he got on the top and they was rocking for real. He was jumping. He was like literally sliding into that thing like a home run. He was literally like,
God. Right.
that's wild. It was wild to see, but it was funny at the same time.
It was very funny.
Right.
It was very funny.
Hilarious.
So they got what they wanted. Make us laugh. Uh-oh. So you know.
Yeah, this is the neighbor right here. This is the neighbor.
What's her name? Oh my god.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. See, that's why Ken need to be. She the one. She got all of the
all the notes,
names,
the transcripts.
all the
Look,
notes.
the transcripts.
Yeah, but she was mad at the neighbor because she didn't recycle.
Yeah,
she
Right,
was mad
she
at
was
her.
a
She didn't
little
recycle. She littered, and they didn't. She didn't like that.
Yeah, so the detectives
Okay,
already.
so let me see. Oh, my bad, y'all. I'm looking for that lady. Oh, that was Rosemary.
Rosemary. Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm.
So yeah, so she got the detectives out there, and you know they already suspicious. Okay, here she go. She got the transcript.
Oh Jesus!
Do you got anything to say about this before you get to here?
Oh Jesus! Why she had to do all? Why she had to do all that? Like, I mean, it was a womp.
What was it? Right.
Come on,
I'm amazed. I'm amazed that the bed stayed intact. I'm amazed they didn't even pop a spring or two.
Okay, the way them beds made back in the day.
Most people don't want their kids to hear them. She got off on the kids hearing them. I'm like,
man,
she didn't give her. She didn't give her. She need a muzzle. But you know,
they need a soundproof room.
She just need to chill, okay?
Not chill.
Okay, we can go on. Y'all talk about the other thing, the
teacher.
Yeah, the teacher.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we already talked about it. Yeah.
Okay. That lady, that crazy. She spying on people. Somebody said she
got
be
them
bird
binoculars.
watching. She ain't bird watching this. I ain't seen not one bird she watching.
No, but she was looking at the detectives talk to the neighbors.
Yeah, but this guy wanted to get his tooth pulled right at the bottom.
Yeah, that was I forgot. Wasn't that one of their friends' parents or something like that?
Ralph and Betty Sterner.
Yeah.
Sterners.
But I'm gonna tell you this though. They got what they deserved because they were rude. They were very disrespectful.
Yeah, they was talking mess.
But
yeah,
why
I was in the bill though.
I'm like, you gotta make sure, like, if you gotta make an appointment. I mean, we understand like your tooth is hurting like that, but don't just call the man out the blue and like pull him away from whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the wife was the most disrespectful, she was like, took the phone from him and like, look, Doc, my husband got a bad tooth. I'm gonna need you to get up from whatever you doing and come in here and deal with this. Like that's how she was talking to him, like very disrespectful. That's why I say I didn't feel bad when what happened to them happened. Yeah. So it's like when you look at it in some aspect in hindsight, when you look at the movie the first time you watch it, you're like, this woman is actually crazy. But then when you look at it a couple again with a different lens, it's like some of these people actually got what they deserved, and she was one of them.
She go overboard though.
She do. I mean, it's very over the top, but still, you know.
Yeah, she's very over the top.
Yeah, but yeah, they definitely was highly disrespectful. Don't call my house and demand and stuff. You, like you said, you supposed to call the office.
And then and then on top of that, wasn't it his day off? Wasn't the office closed that day or something like that? It wasn't even an open day.
She didn't care. She didn't give a damn. She didn't care about nothing.
Walked all back to the exam room. Didn't you?
Yeah,
like,
she
what?
was so rude. I'm like, okay, lady, we doing a whole lot around here, but okay.
Right, so I'll be charging they're gonna get a good bill.
She was that was a Karen. that was
Right.
indeed a Karen.
Yes, Karen before we knew what Karen was.
Exactly.
Okay.
But she was doing too much. She was team too much. Let's see. And then this heifer here, what's her name?
Rosemary.
Rosemary a snitch. Tell me some, what
Snitching.
she was snitching. I'm like, okay, Rosemary. I thought it was your homegirl.
Right. Pick a side.
But like I was telling them before you came back on, Beverly didn't like her because she littered and she didn't recycle.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that was
wild.
So that was her gripe with her.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild. Her
But no,
reaction to everything.
But wait a minute. Wasn't this also the same scene where Beverly is separating the recycle, like the stuff from everything, and how she was just tossing the glass everywhere? I'm like, she didn't place the glass, she just tossed it, and I'm like, the glass is breaking. I'm like, what's the point of you doing if you're just gonna toss the glass into the bin? You're gonna break it.
And she was singing and carrying on and dancing. Not
that song,
but
that song.
She was getting it on, okay?
That was her theme song because she always played it. She always listened to it.
She was a hot. That was a hot ass mess.
Then how she was giving the trash man the little drink, the little drink.
Oh yeah, the little shot, the little vials, right on the job, and telling them and basically trying to plant the seed in their head when she was like, look at her, she's littering, she doesn't recycle, and then they came back and said somebody should do something to her, and then she was like, she knew she wanted them to say that, but she didn't want to come off and say that herself because she didn't want to be vindicated if it came back on her. So if it came from somebody else, she was like, oh, well, I didn't say it. They did.
Right.
And then the daughter, she was mad because the guy stood her up that day or something. And then he told her she need to lose 10 pounds or something. And
the guy had told her,
reassuring her that, like, if you want to lose weight, lose it for yourself, not for, somebody else.
Right. That's probably some of the best things. One of the best true things that she said in that whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I agree.
And the man wasn't. I want him to die. I'm like, girl, you need to grow up. Good God.
Right. Grow up, because the date wasn't even. He needed to lose about 10 pounds too.
But what's interesting though is that with that scene is that probably hit home for Ricky Lake because at that time she was dealing with her weight issue, like in real life. So that probably actually hit home for her. So in that scene, she probably was like crying for real. Mm-hmm. Like she probably wasn't even acting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
and then that's when the police came to the house asking him about Mr.
Stubbins.
Stubbins.
Okay. Yeah. And then she gonna say in front of the police, I got somebody you can run over, mother. I'm like, girl, is you crazy? This is what we gonna say in front of the popo?
Right.
Basically.
Okay. We can go on to the next slide.
Yeah, that's the part we're talking about with the trash can and throwing the glass and stuff in the bin.
And they up there looking through the trash or whatever. Or,
getting them books.
Recyclables.
Yeah. All those magazines she had and whatever else she had. And why was Betty not Betty? Why was I want to keep calling her Betty. What's her name?
Rosemary.
Why she was dumping that stuff out? What was she doing?
Just messy over there with it. I don't know.
Yeah. She wasn't the cleanest person.
Yeah, she was weird. I'm like, she was doing stuff in reverse. Okay. We can go to the next one. I got 1,000 slides, child.
Yeah, I know.
So at the top on the left, we got Rosemary and Dottie in there watching some television show. I can't remember exactly what it was. But Beverly peeping through the window. She scared the shit out of them. They get in there talking, and it was just weird. I don't know how to explain it. This shit was just weird to me.
Man, Donnie should have hauled off on her. As soon as she threw that little egg down, she was like, girl, what is you doing?
Oh, yeah, it was the egg. Oh, yeah, it was the egg because she had came in her house and she was taunting her because Rosemary wasn't in the room, and then she took the egg and threw it on the floor and then tried to say that she broke her egg.
Yeah, because she heard her say pussy willows. And she was like,
and
she said in the voice, she said on the low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when she realized, and then she had realized that it was her. that was making
Beverly
all those
crazy.
calls.
Beverly be playing. Beverly is a
Who that
nut in the
lady
hood, okay?
sprinkling Fabergé egg down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then we get to the dentist scene where we got Mr. Ralph getting his teeth cleaned or whatever.
He's raggedy tooth, right?
He said he was having a toothache, so he was getting it drilled.
But I'm sure his tooth was hurting. I'm sure it was. But he seemed like he was just mashing on that tooth hard. And I'm like, okay, I guess his teeth is not real, but goodness gracious, I know why he hurt. You ain't gonna dope the man up.
I would say, right. I was about to say the same thing. Like, dang, did he like numb him?
No Novocaine, none of that. No anesthesia, none of that.
Sleep, because that tooth was black.
Okay, I saw that too.
Right. This was saying so raggedy too.
She want to go back there because he hurting. I'm like,
I said, is he your child,
He'll be all
man?
right.
Right.
Then we get to the part where later on the Beverly and Rosemary are at the
flea market.
At the auction or whatever. Yeah, flea market. But we see the boyfriend of
now that boy said he was just her friend. Now,
but her friend, she thought they were a little bit more than what they were. But her friend, he all cuddled up with this little slim chick that wants everything that she sees, and the daughter is Misty is pissed off. She's upset with the customers for no reason. But Betty goes, Rosemary she wants to buy a Fabergé egg, but it's cracked, and she wants it for a discount. Mm-hmm. She takes a sticker off of something else and stick it on this fire poker.
Mm-hmm. For $3, we got it for $3 for the 3.
Now, when somebody else do that in stores, they say that's stealing.
Okay. Like, really?
It is.
And that right there is exactly why they don't have sticker tags anymore. Because stuff like that is exactly why.
And I'm like, so you litter, you don't recycle, and you steal. Okay, Rosemary. Gotcha. Bet. Mm-hmm. So Beverly sees the little boyfriend, the little friend, little thing, and she takes the fire poker and follows him to the bathroom because he said, I got the piss. I'm like, you got the piss, sir? You ain't got these bathrooms?
Right.
And that's back in the day, with the long stall, the one that goes all the way down to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comes into play heavily, okay?
Okay.
This guy was a creep.
Yeah. Tori, you want to talk about this?
I almost thought I saw that whole, I thought it was going another different direction. I thought he was on some
that's
other
what
stuff.
I'm saying.
On some glory stuff.
Yeah.
Glory, hallelujah.
So this is the part right here where she follows him with the fire poker, and it's crazy how she's like, look at how she's carrying that fire poker, and it's like no awareness that this woman is just walking around with this fire poker the way she is. It's not like she's walking around like, let me look at it, let me think. She's holding it like she's ready to use it as a weapon.
It's her cane.
Right, like she's ready to wax it.
And then she walks into the restroom where he's at, and he's using the long stall, as I like to call it. And let me just say how swift she was, because someone was coming out of the stall, and how she just kind of spun right into it and closed that door so fast. And then that's when she gets into this stall, and you see this creep right here looking through the hole. And the thing is, he was writing something around it.
He probably was saying for a good time.
Yeah, like I said, this guy
I thought he was gonna write glory at the top. I don't know what he was writing.
And he looks through the hole right there, and he looks at her standing there. She doesn't know that he's there. She's holding the fire poker, and then when she realizes, then when he sees her, he ends up leaving. He gets out of there because he says, "Okay, this woman about to do something, but I don't want to see it."
On no parts.
And then as soon as he leaves, and she sees that there's nobody in the bathroom but her and him, she takes that fire poker and goes right in the back, and she in the hook of the fire poker pulls out a piece of his internal whatever, and this is kind of dangling. It's just dangling on the hook of the fire poker.
Yeah, it was one of them.
It wasn't no piece either, Tori, and that was like the
it wasn't.
Whole thing.
She pulled out the whole organ. Like I'm like,
the whole organ, right?
And then she flicks it off.
But remember, she messed up a little bit. when she was like getting it all, because the thing is she picked it up and then threw it, but then what happened is she had a little bit of the blood on the bottom of her shoe.
Yeah,
but what got me though was when he was laying there at the bottom of the stall, she flushed it. She flushed it, so the water, so that dirty water came right. So this guy's literally laying in his own piss and that dirty water.
And everybody else's
blue water.
So I bet people's shoes was wet and nasty back in the day, because that's disgusting. Like, why is it way on the floor?
Public restrooms are some of the most disgusting places.
So I ain't been in no men's restroom like that. It ain't like this no more. They don't got the urinals on the floor. What y'all got a trough now?
Oh no, they don't go to the
up. Look, it's lift. It's lift.
It's up.
I have a boy.
Higher.
It's like
it's higher.
Kissing on the floor.
You say
into a trough.
Hey, listen, if they drunk enough, they'll still miss it.
Right,
exactly. All over the floor. If they drunk enough, they'll miss it.
Yeah. And the man wrote,
ain't got no aim
in that hole. He wrote, "Eat me." That's what he wrote.
Yeah, see, I thought so. I knew he wrote something. I knew something creepy too when he wrote it.
Yeah.
We knew what he was there for. We know what he was there for.
We know why he was there, right?
Wait, hold up. Ain't that the men's restroom?
Yes. Yes, Monique put it together.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Eat me. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Because it wouldn't make sense if a woman, if that was in the women's restroom, like it wouldn't make sense for him to put a whole.
Nope. So you spying on men? Oh, you just a universal freak? Because
he's
right after the horse thing when she was opening and closing her legs.
You know, and that we gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I think the next slide probably gonna be him on the floor. I think.
Oh
nope.
Yeah. Oh.
I
didn't know you had a picture of it
on your shoe.
Yes, I do. But why
she looked like a barbecue rib
before she left out the bathroom? But you know what? Beverly makes a lot of mistakes in this movie.
Yes.
She makes a lot of mistakes, fingerprints,
witnesses,
body, just witnesses, everything.
There's always a witness.
It's just free. She just free
because she wasn't wearing gloves when she was holding it, so her fingerprints are all over the handle.
She never did anything.
She never did.
Herself.
I think Beverly was just really psycho. She didn't have no way. That's gonna be my like. That would be if I was her, since she was her own attorney. If I was her attorney, I would definitely use what they call it, like insanity, because she wasn't even trying to hide it.
Nope.
Well, I think she aware of her privilege. First off,
that's what it is for real. Nobody's gonna suspect
you. She was like, "You got poop on your shoe," and she was like, "Oh."
And the thing is, if Rosemary didn't tell her that, she would have not paid attention to it.
And then she left the blood on the damn thing, y'all.
And it never looked like poop.
She left blood on the thing because Rosemary had blood on her hand. I said,
first of all, if you got red poop, you got something going on inside of you. You need to go to the clinic.
You better go to the doctor.
You need to go to the doctor.
Okay. ASAP to the pronto. And then they have a whole ruckus about the man being, unalive, and the daughter sees him. She tells her mom that he's gone, and she's like, "Oh, that's what you wanted, right?" She was like, "No, I didn't really want him to die." I was like, "Well,
I ain't want him dead."
Your mama granted your wish, boo boo.
Yeah.
The son said the same thing about the math teacher.
But then she was like, screaming, and when she saw the police officer, she was like,
she switched up real fast.
I mean, he probably just met her that day. He probably just met her that day.
And the cop looked like he wanted it too.
Yeah,
he was looking at it like he was like, "Hey," he's like, he like, "Listen, when I get off."
Right.
Said, okay.
Right.
And we can move on. So we when they at home,
and she made that meatloaf.
Betty is a fool. So not Betty. Beverly's a fool. So she's at home cooking. They cook dinner, and they're praying for the community and everything that happened or whatever. But I think that prayer was really for her.
Because right now the kids and even her husband are starting to be suspicious of her.
Mm-hmm.
Like at this point, they're starting to raise questions, and she's still acting nonchalant about it. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's not me. Don't think that it's me. Like, let's just pray over this food and everything like that. And then of course she got triggered by something and had to go to the store, like she said on the chalkboard, which we know she wasn't going to the store.
This was crazy. So before this, I missed the whole scene about them being in a movie theater. But the police went to see Rosemary and Dottie, and they're just telling everything about whatever happened with with Betty and Beverly and all the things that have been going on. But while they're at the movie store where Chip works, she was like, "Mom is." She called him Jeffrey Dahmer. She called her mama somebody, and it was like, "Ooh, Mom's a killer." Chip was down for it or whatever, and I'm like, "Are you crazy? These people are crazy. They're weird. They're insane." So I think what ticks her off is what ticks the mom off because she goes to the Sterner's house. She didn't go to Scotty. Scotty did something, but they thought she was going to Scotty's house, but she didn't. She went to the Sterner's house.
Yeah, that's what they thought. That's what they thought. And what's so crazy is like this part was so funny because she got in that station wagon and was whipping it like she was in Fast and the Furious. I mean, this woman popped that tape in, played her theme song, and she was hopping curbs. Sparks is coming up off the bottom.
Yeah.
And she's being followed by the police, and those not there.
And the police are following her, and she evaded them because once she hopped that curb, they lost her. Like they couldn't find her in that neighborhood no more.
Yeah, she just gets up and leave, and it was like, "Mom went to the store, Mom." I'm like, we are so
like you just set your plate down. Where did you think, ma'am? I thought she was taking out the trash.
This is crazy.
This
is crazy.
Did you talk about how the detectives went to his dentist's office and showed him the magazines that was missing and some other stuff? And that's why the husband was like, "This can't be true."
Yeah.
And then he went through the bedroom and saw her serial unalivers binder she made or whatever she made.
He busy at the dentist's office. The detective said, "Is your wife mental?" I would have been like,
in the drawer.
Yeah,
it was in the drawer. It was
in the drawer. It was like she had clippings of these famous unalivers. Just
under
like
the mattress, under the bed.
She had audio from Jeffrey Dahmer, wasn't it?
I think so.
Audio.
Oh, Wayne Gacy, one of them.
It was like Beverly, and then it was just like having a casual conversation.
There's one of the unalivers. It was Jeffrey Dahmer or Wayne Gacy, whatever.
Oh, wasn't she? Wait a minute. Wasn't she like pen pals with somebody like in jail or something like that? I think
it was Gacy.
Somebody.
Yeah,
I think it was Gacy.
Yeah,
it was somebody crazy and cuckoo because she right along with him.
We know too many unalivers, boy. They famous,
right? You're right. Can't even pick one. The clown,
right? Like.
It was
but yeah, so that's why I forgot to mention that. I'm like, oh yeah, that did happen. Because that's why the husband was like, his wheels was turning when he got to dinner. Like, what? Not my wife. Yeah, your wife. Okay, she cuckoo.
And then the son asked about the mom being an unaliver. He was like, we hope she's not. We hope she's not, son. But no matter what, we're gonna love her anyway. I'm like, what the world? Okay. All right. Why? I think go next, Mo. Taurean, I'm gonna let you handle this conversation.
Oh, okay.
I'm on Taurean.
This scene right here was crazy because of how they were hopping between both things. So remember, the kid, the Misty and shit thought that she was going to Scotty's house, but she was really going to that couple's house. But he's in his house under the covers, watching adult entertainment. What's it called? Adult entertainment. And he is going in. I mean, aggressive. I mean, the bed shaking, the lights blinking. He's making all kinds of jungle noises. He getting loud. And the thing is, the family go to his house, and the cops end up going to. They go to his house, not realizing they are away from her. She's all taking out the couple at the moment, thinking that she's coming after him. And they walk in, and imagine how embarrassing it must be to have your two best friends, your friend's father, plus two cops come in while you are doing this. And the thing is, when they came in and busted in the room, and he was done, he wasn't even done yet. He's like, ah! He's like, ah!
He jumped twice. He was like,
Right.
Because he was hollering the entire time. They broke
Right.
the house.
So what it is,
So
they
they
heard him
thinking
holler.
like
That-
he getting whacked.
took out.
Yeah, they
But
think
he
they
is
think
whacking.
there's something happening. Yeah,
Right,
not in a way that they think.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, what the world? Why?
And then the way they
Why?
was looking at him in disgust.
And the thing is, and then this thing, like when they walked in and walked in, all he could do was sink into his bed and cover his face up in pure shame. I'm like,
Right.
it's too late now. They already know what you was doing. I mean,
Okay.
hey.
So I got
Just
a
go
little
on and
trivia.
finish.
I got a little trivia. So the movie that Scotty was watching as he based is called Chastity Morgan's Deadly Weapon, 1974.
Wow.
And then it's that movie 20 years old. So you watch
Right.
You can tell that it's old. You can tell that it's an older film.
The
Yes.
music that was playing from it. Like,
Yeah.
sir, this is what you watching?
I said, okay.
With them big
Right.
plugs. I'm like, ugh.
I said, why they playing the Cruella de Vil theme music?
You can tell it's the 70s.
Yes,
For real.
yes. You can go to the next slide. It's just the Sterners. So we got Beverly at the Sterner's house. So they're in there eating chicken, and they got maybe she's not a meat eater because
She was thinking about the birds.
The birds. Oh yeah, remember. Oh, I
She
forgot
go,
to mention it with the birds.
or whatever her little.
Yes.
No. She was like, wee. That's how she was
Yeah.
doing.
Right.
And the way that chicken was well done, and I was so proud of them because that chicken was sliding off the bone.
But the thing is, how I said the director and the cameraman have a wicked sense of humor because they was zoomed in on their mouths and their tongue
I was
going
like,
in on that.
I was doing like this the whole time when I rewatched it.
And the whole time, and the whole time she's looking at them eat that chicken, she's thinking about them little birds.
Yeah, I said,
She was
Jesus.
upset about that because she's like, in her mind, they went out there and snatched those birds up and cooked
and pluck them.
and
Yeah.
plucked them and
fried
cooked
the
them.
neck and pluck
That's
them.
what
Yeah.
in her mind, that's what she saw.
Yeah.
But the way that husband was eating, even when he was eating that cake,
That was
it was just
nasty.
That chicken
disgusting.
was done.
Right.
That chicken was
He eating
done.
the cake. I'm like, no wonder you got a
He was like,
A bad
I
tooth, a bad
ain't
tooth.
done. Well, unfortunately,
Yeah.
I ain't ready.
And
I'm
then-
ready.
now I will say this: the movie did not have any scary moments, but this part did scare me because imagine you open your closet and you're going through your clothes and someone's standing there like that with a smile on their face, holding a pair of scissors, and that music plays and they zoomed in the way that they did. That kind of did get me the first time I watched this movie.
And then
'Cause-
first you
got me
see
with
the
the
box.
shoebox.
You see the box moving.
Shoebox moving.
I already know. I'm
Right.
like, oh snap.
I said, oh shit.
and then when she opened that closet and saw her there, she took them scissors and
And
she
he
was
down there
outta
eating
there.
a whole pie.
And he came up them stairs running, and she done turned into a whole dagger thrower. I mean, she threw it with precision.
Right.
This lady's
Barely
crazy.
missed him.
Yeah. And then he run
Another
down the
witness
stairs,
that she done left.
and she said, "Oh, I know how to get you." She throw the damn air conditioner out the window.
All air conditioner out on.
And
on
he
his-
up there yelling, help. I'm like,
Right.
dude, you need to keep running.
Yeah, like you deserve that. I mean, you're gonna stand there and say, "Help, help!" Boom,
No,
push it,
run
and
to the
you're
neighbor,
done.
the next neighbor house.
I was like, "Wow, this lady is bananas." And she was trying to get it on. Come on, hurry up for the kids get home. I'm like, "Ew, really? Are you not gonna wash? You just taking your clothes off and tell him to come on upstairs? That man is eating a whole pie. He wouldn't think about you, baby." But Beverly poked that lady in the stomach and then she saw that blood on her hand. She's like, "Ew." I'm like,
Right.
Genius.
For real.
Okay, we can go ahead and move on. So they get home and they're happy, but Chip was like, "I'm disappointed. You know, she isn't a murderer, unalive or whatever. Anybody want dessert? Strawberries." I said, "Oh, this lady is wicked."
See something.
You doing about strawberries, really?
Like that's what I was doing all
Right.
that time.
I went to the store.
Yeah.
And
Told
bought
y'all I was
strawberries.
going to the store.
Right.
But she keep leaving these weapons behind with fingerprints on them.
Yep.
That's why I said, did they not have the technology to be tracking all this in 1994? They definitely did.
Yeah,
But
by
that's how
1994
Beverly acted.
came. Yeah, by that time, I think they was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
She's always late. Said, I was driving. Need to reverse it. Y'all mentioned crazy not liking gum. When she squashed that math teacher, his chewing gum was laying beside his mouth.
Yeah, it fell right out his mouth.
Poor
The
thing.
lady, it's bananas.
It plopped out too, just like.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that part about her coming home before they got home. But you can move on.
All right.
Ooh, Aries, you want to talk about the church scene?
You go ahead.
Yeah, I thought this was crazy because at this point everybody knows, but nobody's saying nothing. So they pile all in. The way that the officers was moving every time, I don't know. It was like, we're going to take this opportunity of a lot of noise in the church. And this ain't even no black church. So it's quiet majority of the time. But every time they do a little commotion, they move a little bit closer to Beverly.
They did.
I was like, what? They trying to be strategic.
No, but what got me though was on the. But what got me though was when they was on their way to the church and the cops was trailing them, and the husband was looking over her and saying, like, they said the people out there on words on the street is that you're a serial, you know what? She says, she said, sweetheart, I'm not a cereal anything. The only cereal I eat is Rice Krispies.
But I was waiting on that. I'm like, man, can y'all just flat out ask her? I don't even think that was good enough.
They just
needed to say.
I think
they were scared.
But do you see what the Sunday sermon is? Capital punishment and you. Now
and
you have to know that, like, that definitely is about her.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
This whole sermon was about her, right?
But why?
And she was the main one, like
following them. Like, why it took all? Well, I ain't gonna say why because it's Beverly. I ain't gonna ask why.
Right, it's Beverly.
Why the whole department was there?
If they was all,
they supposed to get the results back for DNA.
Out. Huh?
They supposed to be getting the DNA results because he said he asked, can we bring her in, even though they was following them, and they said no, we got to wait for the results to come back to see if it's a match.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like,
then she got in there and the whole department. Like, if y'all was gonna bring everybody,
that's what it looked like. The whole
precinct getting took out.
And they just
as soon as they had a clear shot. Casually, not casually.
Kids embarrassed.
Their family look at her.
Like, why did they make her blow? Why did they make her sneeze on that baby like that?
Oh,
that was so nasty.
That was so disgusting. Oh,
and when that happened, that's when all hell broke loose because that mother was like, and then everybody just started scattering like roaches.
They was like,
but then we got Misty looking at the man, the photographer. She's the photographer. She just get Niagara. I'm gonna use Taurean word. She get Niagara Falls for every man she see.
Like, girl. And I was like, why is he taking so many pictures of her? He must really like her. Because I thought he was trying to get pictures of her. Like, look, this here the daughter. This baby daughter.
And the thing is, they taking pictures like. The pictures are supposed to be for, I guess maybe he works for a newspaper or something like that.
Right.
She up there posing like she a model.
Yeah, right. He likes
the daddy had to tell her. What's her name?
Yeah.
Ricky Lake, get in this car.
Oh yeah. He was like, Misty, get in the car.
Right.
Because she was just doing too much. I'm like, girl, like you get Niagara Falls for every man you see.
Anybody show her some attention?
Good or bad, she don't care. Yeah, there she go.
There she go posing like that.
Smiling and cheesing. Girl, sit your
look, girl, you ain't posing for nothing but a JCPenney catalog. If anything, like, girl, why are you doing all this with this cream sweater and blossom dress on?
Smiling. I'm like, okay.
Oh my God.
Oh, this part
This
right
lady.
here. This part right here is one of the funniest parts of the whole movie.
The sun come out tomorrow.
But why, as soon as they made it in there from church, was the store opening? I'm like,
He
so
opened the store.
No.
He opened the store. He worked there.
that lady came in there right on their heels, though. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, she
You
must
know,
have been waiting on me.
you know what's so crazy? When I look at this scene, it reminds me of Blockbuster. I said Blockbuster
Yep.
employees must have been going through it back in the day when them customers did not rewind them tapes
Why?
because that's what they was dealing with her because she didn't rewind the tapes. And he was saying, we're gonna have to charge you extra because you didn't bring the tape back, rewind it, and that's the policy. And then she said, and then she messed up when she said, "Keep the change, you son of a psycho."
Ooh, because Mama was back there listening.
And she heard that. So now she's already mad that you didn't rewind the tape, but you also call her son the son of a psycho. So that's 2 strikes against you. Now she's even
was gonna
more
get took
pissed.
out for not rewinding it. She was gonna get took out for that.
Yeah, for that.
But when you said that,
then you was,
it was really on.
Oh, it's on. That's on the popping after that. And then him and his friend went to go check on her and realized she done skipped out the back door. And now they realized that they was after her, so they had to look through the little Rolodex and find her address and go find her because they knew that she was going to go after her. Then she get home and she cutting up that chicken. But what got me was when she told her dog to lick her feet and get them wet. I'm like,
I said, what am I watching? Wouldn't
she was
the trivia thing said they put butter on her feet to have the dog lick off.
Not butter.
Butter.
They paid her. They paid her.
The trivia it says they put butter on her feet to have the dog lick it off.
Oh my God!
So that's why the dog went to her feet right away because they put some kind of butter on her feet.
Yeah, and then she's up in there. She's watching Annie, and then Beverly comes into the back.
She was loud too.
You came, and came in through the back door. At first, she was going to take her out with that knife, but she was like, "Nah." She's like, "This is going to be a little too messy." So then she cuts off a piece of the chicken and gives it to the dog, and then she takes that whole leg. That big giant Flintstone bedrock looking leg, and beats on her. And while she's beating on her, she's singing the Tomorrow song as she's beating her.
Right.
And guess who got a good view of it? Across the way,
Scotty,
on top of a roof of a garage or a barn or whatever it was. So.
The wrong place at the wrong time is wherever he was.
Okay,
you need to see this.
She was like, Scotty, I was willing to let you live, but now you done became a witness. Now I gotta take you out. Sorry.
Okay. Slide mo.
Yes.
Yeah. Because she was gonna stab her at first.
Yeah.
But then that was not good enough. So she took that ham. Was it a ham or something?
It was a leg of lamb.
It's a lamb.
She came in there and cut her little sandwich.
I'm like, why would you leave the knife out and leave the meat out? Like,
come on, didn't even cover the meat, right? And she pressed rewind. She was like, rewind.
Yes, lemon kush, disgusting. Misty has the right name though, Mist Wet. Yes.
They charged John Waters, the director, $60,000 for the rights of her singing Annie tomorrow.
They what now?
They charged John Waters $60,000 for the rights of her to sing tomorrow, the Annie song.
Okay.
Due to his past films, explicit contents of his past films, so they really charged up the Annie for him to use that song.
For Annie.
No pun intended. They really upped the Annie.
Right. That's hilarious.
But so Scotty sees the unaliving and the children. Well, the door. I think the girlfriend sees the unaliving, and she ends up
chasing him down the street with a knife in her hand. I mean, this woman is got her purse. She got her church dress on, and she is booking it down the street with the knife in her hand. I mean, like, she is like a psycho running down. She don't care.
They went past Chip and everything in the girl. And
it's so funny too, because as he got into the car. No, he had got into a car. He had got into his car. And then she said, and then when because her gripe with him was he never wore a seatbelt. I remember that was the thing. She had an issue with him. And then when she came there, because that soft top covering, she took that knife and started stabbing herself. She said, "What on your seatbelt? It's the law."
She is crazy. This lady is insane.
Very
she
much
breaks
so.
all the laws, but she
and then he drove off, and then that's when she took the van from someone. She literally pulled a Grand Theft Auto, like the game, pulled someone out of the van and took their van and drove after him. And as she's driving past, Chip, and as she's driving past Chip and her friend, she's like, "Hi."
Okay, so that's the improvised moment.
What?
Oh, that part, the waving part.
Yes, the director John didn't know she did that, so she just did it. And then when they saw the actual film, they were like, "Okay." People was laughing at that part. People was laughing at that part, so they kept it. They were like, "Okay."
I mean, it works for her character too.
Yeah, yeah, because she to speak to him. Okay. So he runs into this club or whatnot, and I forgot the name of the people. It was called Camel Foot or something. But they got moose knuckles. That's not a camel.
Right. That's what that is.
That's a moose knuckle, okay?
Right.
Those ladies got.
I knew he was gonna say that.
They had them all. They all had them.
All of them.
They had them.
Knuckles.
Right.
I forgot what it's called. It was called Camel. The name of the group called Camel something.
So
but, no, it wasn't Toe. It was Camel something else. No. But why? Why is it way up there?
I was like, why they sew this on these pants like that?
I said the same thing. I had to rewind like
that thing right. Swole. Like it don't even look healthy.
No, it look like a dog.
So we got what's his name?
Scotty
running from them. He's trying to get away from Beverly. Beverly is running through the crowd, and everybody notices her. Now she's like in stardom. She's excited. She's happy. People like the unalivers for some reason. I don't know why they get attention.
And it's also at this point, and I think it's around this point too, where they officially gave her the title of serial mom. Like that's what they started. That's what they started calling her, because when she came to the club and she was trying to get in and she couldn't get in, they was like, "Wait a minute, you're serial mom. You can come on. You can come on in. So you don't have to wait in the line. You don't have to pay."
It was like, I'm Beyonce, like whoever. It's like she's just a fancy person or a rock star, pop star. But he's trying to get away. They did when they carried the people through the crowd. They carried Scotty. They carried the dad.
That's funny.
The crowd surfing. The crowd surfing.
The police are there, and Beverly don't give a damn. She don't care nothing about none of that. She take take the knife, cut down the lights. It falls on Scotty, and he ends up getting up, and she ends up spraying him with aerosol and a lighter, and sets him on. And they think that's part of the show.
Yeah, because one of them drinks some liquor. Drunk some liquor or whatever that was and spits it out on him, and he turns into a whole bonfire. Like you said, they thought it was a part of the show. I said Scotty wasn't gone then, he gone now.
Okay, so pause for a second. In real life, do y'all think they would have charged the lady that spit liquor on him, like for some kind of
man? They bet not.
Nah, that's petty at that point.
I mean, they did charge the dude from Rust, the lady just barely getting out from serving the time for being the weapons handler from that Rust scene. Yeah, I forgot. They probably would. They probably will find a way to charge him. Like, look, I didn't have nothing to do with this. I thought this was on fire.
They spit liquor on him. I'm like, I wonder what they charge somebody for that, even though they think it's part of the show. But how you think that's part of your show? Did y'all talk about that?
Right, this your show though.
All right,
we had budget for pyro.
Right,
and then you hear the man screaming. Well, I don't know.
And then after she does all that, that's when her family comes in and she's like, "Hi, honey," and all in the crowd and everything, just dancing and everything, like she just casually goes here. That's cool. And then it's when the cops finally come in and they pull her out and she gets arrested. She finally gets arrested.
Finally, after what, 6 people? You go to the next slide.
Get her off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot before we go any further, And weren't they like when they were carrying her out and they noticed it was her? Weren't they chanting her name? They were like Serial Mom, Serial Mom. Like they were chanting her name.
They definitely was chanting.
And also remember before when they was bringing her to court when she was on the bus with all them women inmates, she was like she literally I don't know what kind of finesse she has, but she had them on there singing show tunes on that bus
because she was really bossy.
Yeah,
yeah.
She was very she could get people to do what she wanted them to do with just a little word. Like she just very charismatic, I'll say.
Yeah,
and at that point, she was very scary too. We know about your crimes.
She could piss people off, and she could just get people to do what they wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So her trial becomes a media sensation. The lawyer claims that she's not guilty by reason of insanity, but is promptly dismissed when Beverly asks to defend herself. And I forgot the judge say the person that
he said, "Ma'am, a person that has a their self as an attorney has a fool for a client."
Yes, thank you. And I said, "Well, you know what? Okay." So she was saying that Luann Hodges, the only witness who saw her commit the crime, she's intoxicated and not able to provide credible testimony. And the courtroom is distracted by the arrival of Suzanne Summers, who has been cast as Beverly in a television film. How did we get here, Ike? How did we get here?
Right.
How did we get here?
Mm-hmm. that fast,
that quick, without social media.
They're selling Serial Mom pins. Y'all remember the old credit card machine back in the day?
Right.
Yeah. All the slider.
I don't even think he knows how to use a credit card.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking of too.
Miss Hinkle in there cutting up. She tripped her up in her conversation. Yeah. Like she pissed her off, made her say all kind of words. And what she said, F you.
She said everything that she was saying to her over the phone. Cocksucker
and then she asked her, was she on some kind of a drug or something like that? She was asking her all kinds of like
she drink alcohol.
She said, "Are you? Do you drink?" She said, "No, I don't. You B." And then she said, and then remember she looked around and said, "Did you see what she said? She said F you to me. Well, F you to me." I was like, she was like, y'all can just see I'm just standing right. Like she was gaslighting her the entire time she was in that courtroom.
Yeah,
they had to drag her out of court. Like in that part right there, they had to pull her and drag her out of court. She was like, "Oh, she was easy." Next witness,
right?
Next person.
And next caller. This lady wearing shoes. She wrote a note to the lawyer before she dismissed him and said, "Juror number 8 is wearing white shoes."
White shoes after Labor Day.
I said, "This lady is crazy. What are we doing?"
Man, she don't like what she don't like. She's like, "Look, don't be too no
that annoyed her the whole trial because every day he saw that one
white shoes.
She always looked at her shoes and had a look of disgust on her face every time she saw those white shoes.
Man, Chip out there in the hallway, he's trying to be an agent. He dressed like he's a movie producer and everything, and Chip is really owning into this foolishness about his mama. He don't care.
I didn't know if he was a movie producer. I said, why is he dressed like a Black Panther?
What the heck is happening?
He don't care nothing about his mama, child. He trying to make a coin, okay?
He trying to get on.
Yeah. He out there like making selling all the merch,
selling buttons and stuff,
right?
Yeah, and shirts,
right out there outside of the courthouse. That's crazy.
Exactly. The privilege of it all, baby.
Then what they in the lower corner where the detective had the chicks with
magazines.
I say nothing down to the TS magazine.
And that's where her trash buddies came into play because they went through his trash and they found that because they were talking about all the stuff that they found with her magazines, and they found that one, and it was that one right there. And she said, "Well, we found this one right here, chicks with." He said, "That's trespassing."
Oh, okay, sir.
Yeah, he was in his feelings. She flipped everything on everybody. Like she just made them spaz out, or she tripped them up on their words, or whatever. She was insanely brilliant. This lady was bananas. Then the guy that was selling the merchandise, missed his boyfriend. Hell, he wrote a book. He was selling books. I said, okay. get my new book, Syria Mom.
Oh,
Whatever.
right.
This is
That's why he's right, but getting all cozied up with her.
Mm-hmm. You just
Let
dumb.
me get the
You
tea
just slow
from
and
Misty.
dumb. Uh-huh.
But we also remember Scotty's brother was there, and he had confronted Chip, and he knocked him out.
Well, he knocked him out. He hit him.
He said your mother took out my brother, and he had hit him, and then that's when Chip tried to bargain with him and saying, well, look, they're about to do a movie of my mom, and then the brother going to turn around and say, well, maybe they can get what actor he said, Scott
Jason
Baio?
Priestley.
No,
oh Jason Priestley
Presley,
to play me. What?
Because he was like, did you sign off yet? Did you sign off yet? Holding his jaw. I'm like, sign off
how
what?
do we get there? Like,
right.
You finna confronting him about your
like
brother.
You wasn't even in it.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody gonna play you. You wasn't even in it.
Exactly. That's the crazy part about it.
They can make him appear.
They can make him a little part. Give him a few lines.
I'm hollering.
This lady.
And that's the old creep. That's the creep from the bathroom. And he writing on the walls in the courtroom talking about I sniff jury's underpants. Like, I'm sitting there like saying to myself, what is wrong with this dude?
Because juries don't even make sense. It's jurors full. That's why I'm like, they let anybody on the jury.
It's like he does not want to be writing though. It's like he didn't want to write it. But
yeah, it's like he's fighting the urge. He's fighting the urge.
Right.
Well, he needs to put that urge in the exotic novels or whatever, exotic books, something. Yeah. Put it down in the book.
Okay? The thing about it is like he could have been a good credible witness if he didn't have this problem. And the thing is, Beverly found out that what this issue with this guy was. But when she noticed that, I think the thing more funnier than her sliding down into her chair and opening her legs open and shut like she's doing Kegel exercises is the fact that they had that drum beat, boom, 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 boom.
And he would slide down trying to look.
He was like, he was like this.
Yeah, I never seen it before.
This guy could barely contain himself. She was like, I don't even have to ask him no question.
He a universal freak.
Yeah.
Right, because I'm saying he just wants to see.
He had a problem.
Yeah, I sniffed jury's underpants. Like, you are sick. You are sick.
And illiterate.
Yeah, that too.
I could see if he was to get something from somebody, especially a woman, he'd probably take her underwear. She'd be like, "Where's my underwear?"
Sure, he'll last 2 seconds.
I don't know. Let's find him. Let's look for
him. Don't find him.
Meanwhile, he got him on.
Right, on or sniffing him. Right. As a keepsake. Oh my God. He is sick. He is wild. So we see Suzanne Summers came up there, the real actual.
Right.
Yeah, and when she walked in, and then when she walked in, everybody's like attention went right to her. Even the judge got distracted. He forgot he was presiding.
Right. Hilarious.
So they reached the verdict, and they found her not guilty. And of course. So
of course.
The family is looking like, oh wow, she's not guilty. Like now, what do we do when we
have to deal with her crazy?
Oh shit!
Right.
And then she
That's
told
why y'all lucky y'all didn't switch up.
Okay.
Oh, this lady is crazy.
Yeah, she said whatever you like, and you could tell Misty was kind of scared for her boyfriend. She was like, and whatever you do, don't piss her off. And then they kind of looked at her and gave her that nervous smile, not one of them happy smiles, but one of them like, I'm kind of scared, but I'm gonna smile anyway. Because I don't want to be able to sleep
in the same house.
Like, the girl was like, no more violence, no more violence. And Daddy was like, what do we do? He was like, bring her home, I guess. I'm like, I'm scared of this lady.
They sound like this is
and then
I wonder if he's still gonna be turned on by her, or she just gonna take it.
And then as as they're leaving out of the courtroom, you have Suzanne Summers right there. All the reporters are right there, and it looks like a celebratory moment until Beverly sees that juror with the white shoes, and she's like, okay, I'm not leaving out of this courthouse until I deal with her. And then she goes and confronts that woman who I think was like, I don't know if she was a reporter or whatever. And she gets on the phone and then tells the person on the phone, I didn't think she was guilty at all. I was like, oh God. I said, you spoke too soon. Beverly come over, hangs up that phone, and she says, didn't your mother ever tell you that it's wrong to wear white shoes after Labor Day? And she was like, nope, pap. She said, well, now you know. She's like,
she said, fashion has changed. Fashion has changed.
She said, no, it hasn't. Pop! Knocked out.
Shoes.
It's the fact that she backhanded her. She didn't hit her like this. She backhanded her.
Yeah. She hit the tennis move on her.
Hung that receiver up, and she almost went off on Suzanne Summers because Suzanne wanted to be on one side to take the picture, and she's like, Suzanne, this is my bad side.
Right. Don't
let it crazy.
Like, ain't nobody exempt.
She's crazy.
And then when the jurors saw the blood coming down the lady's leg, and then they look at her and they realize, wait a minute, we just acquitted a killer. No kidding.
That lady is bananas. She's crazy. Suzanne was like, yeah, I did, and yeah.
And then remember they put that little disclaimer at the end. They said Beverly Suffin did not cooperate during the filming of this movie. I'm like, like they still try to play up like this is a real story.
Like this is a real thing.
I said, well, sir.
Right. And I think that's the end, right?
That's the end.
That's the end.
Yeah. Classic underrated comedy. I would highly suggest anybody to watch it if they haven't seen it. This movie is hilarious.
Yes, that was bananas. That was a good show. A good movie. Thank you. I'm glad we finally did it.
Finally.
Yeah, this was crazy. I don't know any other movie like this.
Me neither. Honestly,
that's a murdering comedy and then the way she murders people, like off of chewing gum, off of not wearing your
seatbelt, not rewinding the tape,
not wearing the seatbelt. It's like
eating the chicken.
Slightly piss her off, and you done.
Yes, yeah, it's a wrap.
It ain't got to be that bad. Like it don't have to
directed toward nothing. Is directed toward.
Yeah, nothing.
She's just crazy. She's crazy. So, thoughts on the movie, Mo?
Nothing. I was just looking at this trivia. It's talking about Julie Andrews was considered to play the role of Beverly. I said, no, she wasn't.
No.
I couldn't see it.
I couldn't see it. Look, I said the same thing.
They picked the right person to play this part.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I agree.
Because her face says it all. Like, she doesn't have to do anything but just look. And it's like she's sinister. She has a sinister look.
They basically saying like cast someone who has that housewife look, but also can play crazy at the same time.
Yes,
like it's a balancing act with her.
And Lynn Whitfield could do it.
Yeah, she has the
Lynn Whitfield could do it.
Yeah, Lynn Whitfield can do it. Yeah, she has the housewife. You know, the mother. You know, and
it's crazy because this actress. It's crazy because this actress she has typically always played the villain in every movie that she's done. Like a lot of stuff that I would see her in back in the day, she's always played a villain type role, but it was always in a comedic sort of way. It wasn't like it's not like she was Kathy Bates in Misery.
Ooh, yeah.
That's
what we need to talk about.
But hey, listen, if you want to talk about it, call me back for that one. That's a wild movie right there.
I can do the car.
Man, my ankles just start hurting as soon as y'all start talking about it.
Oh, listen, that hobbling scene is probably one of the most famous, most cringiest scenes ever.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about Misery. That was butt down. Oh gosh,
crazy.
Yes, we got to talk about it. ASAP. Yeah. Aries, thoughts on the Serial Mom?
I had watched this a few hours ago, like a few hours before the live, and I was really cracking up watching it because that was pretty much like the first time that I watched it again as an adult, because I was watching this when it was just coming on like HBO and I was in elementary or something. Didn't need to be watching it for sure, but it was some moments that I thought was funny, but now I was catching all the jokes this time. And I'm like, oh my God, this movie's stupid. This lady crazy.
Yes.
But yeah.
I almost want to look at. I almost want to like see if there's like any like behind the scenes footage for this movie. Like, what was the creative process of them making this movie? I'm probably gonna look that up.
They said
that.
When I look at the trivia, they said on Blu-ray, when it came on Blu-ray, they had some extra commentary from John Waters, the director.
Cool.
So some extra stuff on that. So on that format.
Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah, I forgot when the husband asked her about her being menopausal. I'm like, sir, menopause ain't got nothing to do with nobody being unalive. Multiple murders, 5 murders. I'm like, sir, you need to get out your doctor.
I don't think hot flashes will drive people that way. Like, yo.
Because if that was the case, it would be happening all over the place. Like step back, like be far away, like as far as way as you possibly can.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and remember when she squashed that fly? She said, "Scrambled eggs, anybody?" No, we don't want nothing. You got
nothing. Okay.
We don't want a damn thing from you.
So the animal people said they couldn't do that a real fly, so they had to make up a fake one.
Well, what the animal people said about having that dog lick that lady's feet like that? That was definitely cruel to
They
animals.
put butter on it. I don't know. I guess they got away. He was licking something off her foot. I don't know.
That's beastie.
I think the part that got, like I said, with that scene is the fact that not only of her having the dog lick her feet, it's with her coming back and saying, "Get them all wet." And she said it just like that.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. She was wiggling her toes.
Wiggling her toes.
Poor dog. Look like it had butter on it.
Poor Comet.
Had to put butter on her feet.
Okay. I had read that. I'm like, no wonder he so eager to lick the foot. Right. Okay, yeah, so it was. Thank you.
Chip said, "I'm so happy I could shit." Chip, you know I hate the brown word.
Yeah.
You say sucker, you say mother effer, you say
Ussy.
You say all the words. You say all the words, okay? But you hate the brown word. Okay.
Yeah. Because she always presented herself one way around her family, and then she was another way when she was by herself.
Clearly. Cocksucker. 1, 2, 3.
And the way she just went and sat on that bed, like, okay, now I could prank call.
Yeah, like I said, she was acting like a child. Like she had the mentality of a kid.
Yeah,
and she was proud to pick up that phone and call this woman. And the thing is, you could tell Dottie was going through it because when she first picked up, she was like, every time the phone rang, she was scared to pick up the phone because she just had a feeling, because that just shows you, even though it wasn't shown in the movie, she was getting prank called by this woman so many times ever since the parking lot situation. She was getting constantly prank called by her.
Never she rode past her house. She was riding past her when she was in her yard. And I'm like, she was riding slow. I'm like, okay, you picking with this lady. You really messing with her.
You messing with her.
Yeah, you really doing a number on this lady. She had that lady messed up.
Literally messed up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it. The actual person. It was the actual person named Dottie Hinkle who worked at the as a clerk at the courthouse. They filmed it, right? And it said it was an oversight from production. So the real Dottie Hinkle, she didn't sue, but she gladly signed over a waiver for them to use her name.
Man, Dottie, you missed out on the bag.
It was an oversight for the production, so she ain't sue. She just
what are the chances? Is that a common name in Baltimore or something? Dottie Hinkle,
right?
Like you can heard that somewhere before.
Probably back then.
Exactly. Right.
Probably back then.
Not Dottie Hinkle at that. Like both names are so unique.
Exactly. What are the odds of that happening? That's crazy.
What are the odds?
And then remember in the movie when the officer was talking to Dottie, and he was like, would you be comfortable saying it in front of a lady cop and there's a big bull dagger lady cop pull up beside her?
That's why I'm like, she ain't no better. I literally
She
was
just talked to a
thinking,
man. I just took that big bull dagger.
like, that's
Right.
like when you gotta get patted down by security and they're like, let me get a female security guard
Female.
out here. And you're like, it's a stud. What are you talking about? It's the same thing now. What? She's straight patting me
I said, what the
down.
hell?
They
She was
put
like,
Dottie.
just say
They put Dottie through it in this movie.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dottie,
they put her through the
she got put
ringers.
through it.
my son and nephews would prank call people businesses with numbers on their vehicles. I don't know who you talking about, child. Not, maybe not my son, your nephew. I know you're not talking about that. Telling family business, girl. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
wow.
MsKira say it's Pride Month, baby.
Yes, Pride, baby.
Pride, baby.
Happy Pride.
They're talking about you talking about the stud, the cop.
Yeah.
Right. They was having representation, man.
They did.
Representate.
Mm-mm-mm.
But
Well,
we forgot one part when did we talk about when they had Rosemary on the stand?
Mm-mm.
I forgot.
Child, forgot about Rosemary.
I forgot because she was on the stand and they were talking about she got brought up again about her recycling, and it's like y'all made a big deal about her recycling that you didn't even take in consideration her testimony, because I think they brought up the thing with the fire poker and everything like that, and they tried to make her seem like she was crazy. I mean, the way that she was able to get everybody on her side and flip it back onto them. That's some mastermind manipulation at work, and her basically trying to make it seem like she was so mad about her chipped egg that she just just kind of like crashed out a little bit.
Crashed out
over that
crazy
chipped egg, over that cracked egg.
Yeah.
That egg was destroyed. A Franklin Fabergé egg. And what was so crazy is that
when she was asking,
they was getting the egg. The Misty's date was buying the Fabergé egg for that girl.
For that girl.
And the thing is, when Beverly asked, when she had asked her on the stand, she says, "Do you recycle?" And she was like, and they was like, they tried to make it a suspense thing, like everybody's leaning in, like waiting to see what she's going to say. Like they raised the music up a little bit, and she was like, "No, oh my God, she doesn't recycle. Oh my God, it's the end of the world." Like that's how they were treating it. And I was like, they try to make her a uncredible witness because she didn't recycle.
Right, yeah, like, she's guilty or something.
Just like my kitchen's not big enough.
Like, man, what they got to do with it?
Oh, it was called Campbell Lips.
Oh, okay.
Campbell Lips.
Yeah, that's what the band was.
Baby, listen.
Like, yeah, that's why, because it looked like an animal box. Right.
Well, guys, we've come to the end of the road.
Like
what you all got going on your channel? Mo, Aries, and Taurean. I know he got a lot going on. He got shit premiering and pausing. He already got stuff lined up. I saw it earlier. I said, okay, Taurean got premieres going on. What you got, Mo?
Right. Okay. So I have my Never Ever Met episode 8. I gotta upload. And Real Housewives, my individual recap for the Housewives of Atlanta, episode 13. And then we got the panel tomorrow for Real Housewives of Atlanta, episode 13. And what else? Did BMF come on this week? Yeah, I think come on this week.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yep. We got that. And
don't sound so enthusiastic.
You're right. I mean, look, it's the last season, because last season before pissed me off. But yeah, so this is the last season of BML. So yeah, and also my Beyond the Gates. So catching up on that.
All righty, Aries gang.
Just stay locked in for when I do start rolling on. I am working on something behind the scenes, but just know that when y'all see it pop up, y'all see it, because y'all know how it be. Still be happening. So just stay tuned in, and for sure the Sunday smoke session has returned for the summer. At least y'all can count on that for sure. Anything else that like candy you think of that I'm available through the week. Like this good old movie that I hopped on. So yeah, just stay tuned, guys.
All righty, and Torian.
All right. Well, tomorrow I got a video that I'm gonna be two videos. One, I'm gonna be talking about another person who got claimed by Lake Lanier. I said y'all better stay away from that lake, but y'all keep going out there. Y'all keep testing them ancestral waters, but go at your own risk. Then I'm gonna
Another
be talking.
person?
Yeah, like a couple weeks ago, it got somebody else going out there.
Why do they keep going out there?
I don't know. Then I got
ride by the place. Okay.
Then I'm also going to be going in on RG3 because of them comments that he had made about Angel Reese. You know that him and Brian Clark got at was going back and forth for a little bit. So I'm gonna be talking about that. But also,
I'm gonna have to tune into that one
yeah, that's gonna be good.
I got some thoughts,
Yeah. Actually, I do have one with Brian Clark and how he responded, but that's going to be a separate video. But that's going to come in I think Friday. But also I have my this month, with this month being Black Music Month, I'm doing different polls every single day on my community tab. I also posted them up in my Discord and on Threads and on Twitter. And every day I just ask different, I take a poll for different things. And then at the end of the month, on the last day on Rumble, because YouTube with the copyright, we're gonna have a jam session based on the winners of said polls. So the first day was best collab. The first day was best collab. The second day was best male dancer. Today was best female dancer. And tomorrow is going to be best diss track. So I basically have them listed like that. And then I have one for every single day leading all the way up to the last day right before that. But also tomorrow, I'm able to go see an early screening of Ballerina.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to go see an early screening of that tomorrow, and I'm going to do the review and have that up on Thursday.
Cool.
Okay, this is Black Music Month. I might have to do a little surprise video that I've been saying I was gonna do.
Oh yeah, please and thank you.
I know Candy. I already know Candy know what it is. So I'm not even gonna say it up here.
Right? Don't even say it.
Just in case it don't happen, but I'm trying to make it happen. Okay.
Hey, it's worse than this 11 months, child. It's more than this.
Wow, not the 10-year mark.
Okay. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for coming through. For me, what I got going on? Nothing. Just keep your notification bells on. I'm just waiting on I think somebody said Found might be coming back. I got to tap in. I saw that, but I was like, I'm not clicking on this.
Yeah, I'm supposed to be making a video talking about all these shows and where they
I don't want to get upset if there's some bull swanky. So
right.
I didn't click on it, but I saw the Found thing. That's all. Found will be coming back. So we'll see. Tomorrow I'll be doing Roa with Mo and Kira and Shayna. Hopefully I can bridle my tongue, cuss nobody out too bad. And on next Monday,
just try to say no F words. That's no mother effers. Trying to say those.
Yeah, with EJ, we'll be doing the last 3 episodes of the Never Shoulda Mets.
Oh my God.
On. So yeah, just tap in and tune in and just see what I got pulled up on. The channel. It's a little slow right now. I'm waiting on Tyler Perry to bring my shows back so I can get to work.
Yeah, because we have Divorce Sisters coming on soon.
Yeah, Divorce Sisters coming. So whenever Tyler,
I know I'm doing it. So
yeah, whenever Tyler get himself together, then I'll be back on it.
And speaking of Netflix, did y'all see that they just did a whole dump of trailers for their upcoming shows for the rest of the year?
Ooh, no,
because Squid Game season 3 is coming up in a couple weeks, and that's going to be the last season of that. Then I don't know if any of y'all on here watched the show Wednesday. It's a really good show.
I love Wednesday.
Yeah, season 2.
Yeah,
comes
they
back,
had
comes out
a
in
whole
August.
thing, a whole event. It was called Tuning, or whatever it's called. It was
and in season 2 for that comes out, and it's going to be split into 2 parts because I think the first part comes out in August and the next one is in September. Then of course they dropped the announcements for Stranger Things season 5. finally.
Okay,
That is my show right there. This is the last season, and this
Yep.
and that's they split that into 3 parts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought it was 2. It was
They
3.
split into 3 parts.
What's Totem? What's Totem?
That's
It was
it's a
Netflix
Netflix event. It's a Netflix event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like where they unveil like all the shows that are about to come
all the rollout
here from
Okay.
like here all the way to like the end of the year.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they drop like a whole bunch of trailers for it. Yeah, Wednesday is a very good show. I'm ready for season 2.
I watched the series about 4 or 5 times. Yeah, my daughter loves it, so yeah. Wednesday.
Look, she like, what?
Right.
I think I got put. I have a picture of the first season, the second season of Wednesday and her brother. I'll say this: how much time went by. This boy had a growth spurt.
A huge growth spurt. He shot. I mean,
she shot up.
Man, they lucky they kept him casted. He ain't Pugsley supposed to be Pugsley.
Okay.
And I think this season he's definitely gonna have a bigger role because now he's going to the school. He's at the school with her, so he's gonna have a bigger part.
Ooh, that's gonna be dope.
And I think they're also incorporating the family.
You think they're gonna criticize them on Taurean because he's not the chubby puzzly?
I haven't really seen anybody like really say much anything like negative online except for what we just said, like, wow, like how much time has passed because he really shot up. I mean, because the last time we saw him, he was like the same height as Jenna Ortega, and she's short. And he he hit that growth spurt hard.
He's
I mean,
not chubby.
He slimmed out.
Slimmed out.
Mess up the family bag.
Okay,
but I think they're incorporating the family a little bit more in this because I think that's one thing that people wanted from this first season, even though the show was really about her, is that they like the family dynamic because they said the chemistry was just so good. So I think they found a way to incorporate her parents more into the story, and then they letting Pugsley be in there more as well. Because even with a little screen time, he had like that part when he's throwing a grenade into the pond. That's their way of going fishing is to throw a grenade and kill all the fish. Like, so I mean, but hey,
and him getting bullied at school at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah,
put the
and the piranhas in the pool. Yeah.
And she got upset because they didn't get murdered. Like, I mean, unalived. Yeah. She was like, "What? Almost?" She said she didn't say almost doesn't count, but it was pretty much along the lines like I didn't.
Her mother had asked her. She said, what would the authorities think or parents think or something like that?" She said something along the lines of, they would hate me because I failed to get the job done. Yeah. I said that's a typical Wednesday response.
And she said they don't deserve children because they
people like him don't deserve to procreate.
Yeah.
But the teaser that they show when she's going through the TSA and she's taking all the weapons out, I'm like, how in the world does she store she had machetes, she had tasers,
it was a barn in there.
She had a mace,
she
had a taser, she had like.
Oh, she had it going on.
And the only thing they questioned was the suntan lotion that thing had. That's the only thing they questioned.
Hilarious.
Season 2 for Wednesday.
No, I got to roll bounce real quick, y'all.
Yeah.
But
we about to be out.
You have to be out. Problem.
Yeah, but I think y'all.
I'll talk to y'all later.
Y'all, replay game. Throw those flames up in the sky. Some knives. Replay. Whatever cereal or something, food. Just let us know that you've been here.
Not mom cereal.
Right, a cereal bowl.
Cereal bowl.
Hilarious.
Or milk or whatever. But let us know you came through. And I think everybody will come through. Taurean, Mo, Aries in the chat. Thank y'all for coming through. We're gonna dip out. I will see y'all later.
Bye, y'all.
Babe, I just wanna